Have you ever said to yourself, holy crap, how'd they do that? On this podcast, we talk with and about people doing amazing things they never thought possible. Let's go. All right, we're back and we're talking with our good friend, Craig Richard, who is an amazing musician. Among other things. You have to tune into the episode where we talked about not only ultimately climbing El Capitan, but falling and having to climb down, then back up to get rescued, to rescue himself, I should say.
Climbing back up in a place that's only designed to rappel down. That's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Holy crap, how'd he do that?
Yeah. You definitely want to tune into that. But Craig has had an amazing life so far. It's not over yet. He hasn't even written the best chapter yet. But Craig has been all over, played with tons of folks, and it's definitely one of those, holy crap, how'd he do that?
Especially for a guy that plunks around on a guitar, can only dream of playing in a stage in his own mind. This guy has played on stage all around the world. So welcome back, Craig.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So tell us, where did music enter your life?
Well, I love to talk about my family because I really was influenced by both mom and dad. The outdoor adventure and rock climbing came from my father, Ron, who was a prolific rock climber and started me when I was 5. And then my mother, Carol, was a high school choir teacher. So I started singing and playing piano when I was also about 5 or 6 years old. And then in school, picked up the saxophone. It was just one of those kind of, yes, this is for me type things. So my soul lit up and just kind of ran with it ever since.
So how many instruments do you play?
Okay, well, I play the saxophone, although there's 5 different types. I'll just call that one. I play guitar, I play piano, I sing, and I play the drums. So however many that is.
But not all at once. So,
well,
and he doesn't play drums when he's rock climbing.
Yeah, no. Greg, you'll love this. I owned a restaurant with my brother. We're going to bring in some live music. And I said, hey, we need to find one of them one-man bands. And my brother gave me this weird look like, what are you talking about? Like, I could tell what he pictured was like the guy with the harmonica and the guitar with the cymbals between his knees.
And a bass drum on his back.
And all of this. I'm like,
yeah.
No. Like, I have a friend that he plays the guitar, but he plays with with a track background, or I have piano player friends that play with different tracks and background music and whatnot. But my brother, it was so funny, like a one-man band. Like, but we've seen you as a one-man band, but you've had the privilege, honor, I don't know what you would call it. I guess we'll ask you that, but to play in some amazing places with some amazing people. So how about a little bit of that?
Sure, yeah. After I graduated from college with a music degree, I started working on cruise ships, actually. And I played as a house band musician, backing up a lot of big artists. And I just always thought, like, it's fun playing in the band, but I want to be that guy. I want to be the frontline guy, the headliner. So I crafted my own show and just had a right place at the right time kind of moment where a big entertainer got sick and canceled their performance. And the entertainment director said, if you promise me this is the real deal, we'll put you on. And it was a huge success, got a standing ovation for my first show. And these people called up their agent, said, this guy's the real deal. And within a couple of weeks, I was on a world tour doing my own headline show on all these different cruises. And so that was the beginning of that. I had the real great honor of meeting the saxophonist Kenny G in 2011. And that just came about through my best friend who owns a saxophone equipment company in Miami, Florida called Dukoff. And he just put us together. Kenny asked if I could play a little bit for him. He said, you sound pretty great. Play with me in my next show. And like, it's one of those, yeah, sure, whatever you say.
That's funny. I met Garth Brooks, and he did not say that same thing to me.
Theater play, yeah.
He said, "Hey, be sure to buy a ticket to my next show."
Is that where?
Yeah.
That where the song "Friends in Low Places" came? He was thinking.
No, he was thinking about his friend. I was in the low places.
But since then, Kenny and I have played together 4 times in different locations, and had some other great connections come through that. And again, to paraphrase one of my favorite philosophers, Joseph Campbell, music is my bliss. And following that bliss has opened some incredible doors when I didn't go looking for it, when I was just doing what I loved.
So we're filming this in June of 2021. Cruise ships aren't traveling yet. What's your game plan? Are you going to go back into the cruise ships, or are you going to do a different route?
Well, like a lot of people, I'm taking it one day at a time right now. I do have some cruise ship offers for 2022, so they are hopeful that they'll be up and running again. And I would love to get back to that. It's an incredible performing opportunity for a headline entertainer. I mean, I travel the world. I play 2 shows a week, and in between that, I'm a free guest on a cruise, going to these destinations, eating in the room, going to the spa. It's not a bad gig, really.
So
maybe we should learn how to sing.
But we haven't even announced this yet, but we do have a cruise coming up, right?
We do have a cruise coming up
next year. Dock
and a Cop cruise coming up. Tune in, send us an email at info@totalcareergrowth.com. We'll tell you all about it.
Maybe we can work to get Craig as the featured performer.
As our headline entertainment. That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Then we can hang out with him for 3-4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be a roadie.
Hey, I'll be a roadie.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys met me in Savannah, and I was just playing some local gigs. That was fun, trying something different. So like a lot of musicians, in this very different time, we're just kind of doing what we can. And that's good too. But I look forward to getting back on the stage.
I think this is the only person I know that's got a pivotal guitar.
Oh. And Craig, I don't know when the last time you were in South Florida, but your guitar looks like the Hard Rock Hotel in Fort Lauderdale or in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. That's right next to the factory where I work with my friend. Yep.
Oh, wow. So Craig's guitar folds in half.
Yep.
And so that's what
purposely.
Not because he got mad and flung it into his
not like the rock guitarist on stage.
Yeah. But I saw it in the bag and I said, "Hey, that looks like a guitar if it's shaped like a guitar at the bottom, but there's no neck." And then Craig said, "Well, yeah, that is my guitar, and it folds in half, makes it easy for transport. But it actually, when you take the guitar out of the case before you connect the neck, that's exactly what the Hard Rock Hotel down in Hollywood, Florida looks like at the casino. It looks like a guitar with no neck, but it's got the strings and the frets and all that stuff, and that's as much as I know.
The strings just fold over.
Yeah, the strings just fall over and you beeline into the pool. No.
No, I mean
on his guitar. Oh, yeah.
Folds over. And
it took him all of about 8 seconds to tune it, and it sounded great.
As you can see, Craig, we're easily impressed.
Well, I like to think and do things outside of the box, to try something different.
So outside of playing with Kenny G, what is your favorite moment from performing?
Yeah. These concerts that I do, I get a lot of time on the microphone as well to just kind of tell stories and interact with people. And one of my favorite things I've developed through my performing career is actually not performing at all. It's just being myself, talking about what's real in my life and the struggles that I face that are really universal struggles, and having this unique interaction with an audience that feels very one-on-one, but with a lot of people. And just like anybody else, I certainly have and continue to have my trials in life, and being vulnerable about that in a stage setting, I've found to be a very rewarding and powerful tool to connect with other people.
I love that, Doc, because even with social media, we would think that we would feel more connected. But the thing that you hear overwhelming is that so many people feel like they're the only ones going through particular struggles, right? Whether it's weight or height or looks or sexuality or popularity or whatever it is. They think they're the only one.
Yeah.
And they think that they're the only one going through it. They can't talk to other people about it. And here Craig is taking the platform, not standing up there and saying, look, this is my viewpoint on life and this, you have to adopt it or you're a, SOB, but saying, look, I suffered, or I've been in pain, or I've been unhappy, or I haven't got what I wanted. And this is how I worked my way through it. And music is one of the great releases for me to clear my head, to write myself.
Because as I was watching a piece this week on Itzhak Perlman talking about the violin, and his wife is talking about music and the ability to feel like that is what separates us from the animal kingdom. Because we feel, and it's through music, and music helps us just explore and become and feel on a whole different level.
You see, Doc, you've never seen The Lion King. So you've never seen Timon and Pumbaa. They sing and they dance.
Craig, I really got to apologize for Pat sometimes. He goes off the deep end.
That's right.
It's bad enough he runs a marathon gas station. But no, I mean, I just think that's great. And I know sitting in that hotel in the wonderful downtown hotel in Savannah and listening to you, it's like I could have sat there for 2 hours, especially when they're giving you free wine. But I could have sat there all evening, and it's not only the music, but it's the atmosphere. And for me, it takes me to places that I couldn't go otherwise. And I can imagine in coffee house conversations or, presentations and things like that, that really lends itself to taking things to a whole nother level.
Well, and that's, Craig, it's like, people ask Billy Joel, you ever get sick of playing piano, man? But I've seen Billy Joel in concert several times. I've seen him on TV and whatnot. He always looks fully engaged playing that song.
Sure.
And he's played it tens of thousands of times, right? They still go to practice every day, which just blows my mind that you would practice like that. Having known the song, played it, most of his band's been with him for 40 years, all the same guys, but they still do rehearsals. But when he plays and he's up on the stage and he's presenting to the people, it's game on, and you can. It's not like, hey, this is the 9 millionth time that I've sang Piano Man, and I'm just going through the steps. He's truly trying to create an experience, and that's what you get with sharing of stories and sharing what a song means to you or a struggle.
I'm curious, Craig, when you were playing, do you have a certain set of songs that are kind of go-to for you?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I've changed my concerts consistently over a 13-year period, but there are a few songs that I've kept almost since the very beginning. And my Piano Man has been You Raised Me Up by Josh Groban.
Okay.
And every time I play that song, I talk about how it reminds me of all the people that have come into my life that have contributed to my journey, and how talking about that never gets old, and communicating that through the same song never gets old.
So is rock climbing the same way? I mean, in some ways, I think that in rock climbing, you have to be very present and it's a discipline. But in some ways, when you sing a favorite song, it's kind of a flowing from inside out and less of a discipline. Is that accurate or not?
I think they can be related, you know. You talk about a flow state. That's why I love rock climbing, because it's like a moving meditation for me.
Oh, wow.
I'm not thinking about anything else. And when I'm playing music, there is a presence, I guess same as rock climbing, to make sure I'm covering my bases, you know, playing the right notes and keeping my hand on the right rock ledge. But
yeah, see, that's why I can't sing and play. I can't play. It's too much focus. That's the most impressive thing.
Well, as I was saying, what comes up for me between both is the flow state. It's a blissful state. It's almost like a meditation.
Oh, that's what driving is for me. It's like meditation.
Right.
Like most people that ride with me, it's like meditation, because I look and they have their eyes closed and they're whispering to themselves.
That's what the grab handle's on that side of the car for. I've ridden with you, and it's not meditation. It's Danny prayer.
I have a lot of non-Catholics ride with me that pray the rosary. They say there's no atheists in the foxhole. There's also no atheists in my back seat.
Well, I like the way he's got the rosary printed right on the front of each passenger place. So anyway,
right.
So have you written much of your own music?
I've written a couple of songs through the years. I've really enjoyed the art of taking other people's music and making my own for a long time. And in a cruise ship setting, that's kind of appropriate. You can play one or two of your own songs, but they kind of want to hear things that they know for the most part.
They want to hear Freebird, right? And Piano Man and Sweet Caroline. I had a friend that went and saw somebody playing at a local restaurant bar or something, and they said, "Wow, the guy played all my favorites, like, you know, all the popular songs." Like, well, of course, that's what everybody asked for.
If I remember right, Craig, there was a concert recently where this clown kept yelling out "Freebird."
Right. Yeah, that seems to ring a bell.
I know somebody who's prone to doing that, and it's really embarrassing.
And he also talks about running a marathon.
Around a marathon. Yeah. So, Craig, as we wrap things up here, what's one bit of advice you would give to a hesitant person who's interested in music, whether it's for a career or just for recreation?
Yeah, good question. I find when anybody enters into music that it can be really easy to learn music and to find yourself performing music that you don't necessarily enjoy. I think that happens a lot, particularly with like classical lessons. When you start any instrument, it's like, that's fine to learn the facility, but I want to play an instrument because I want to play music I like. Mm-hmm. So my advice for any person who wants music to be part of their life is to claim that you have the right and you should be learning to play music that you truly enjoy, because that's what it's about.
That would give you a big leg up, I would think. Oh, I mean, trying to learn Rachmaninoff just so I can work the keyboard, but if I could play, you know, Good Golly Miss Molly or something fun, and you know, like, no, I don't want to wait till week 19 to learn that. I know I needed to learn the basics. Teach me the basics with that song.
Well, Craig, I can relate because 2 years ago I picked up the bass guitar. I'm still not very good, but it's only been in the last couple months that, well, for Christmas I got a couple of books, and one of them's got like 50 bass songs in it. And I started on the easy one, and they had a couple of songs that I really liked, like Bridge Over Troubled Water. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I liked that song when it came out, and it's fairly easy to play. It's fun to play. Whereas some of these others, if they're too difficult, or if I really don't like the song, it's like, why do I want to do that?
It feels like homework, and music is supposed to be a joy.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
As we say goodbye to Craig for this episode, don't forget the other episode that we did with Craig, where we talked about his experience climbing and falling and rescuing himself down 1,000-foot cliff.
And in the next episode,
Wow.
stay tuned.
Thank you for tuning in. You can engage with us all over social media. Be sure to like, follow, share, or subscribe wherever you're tuned in. And don't forget to leave a review. Until next time, think bigger.